this technical corner, we're going to be discussing cutting tools from the Hoffmann Group UK. Now, I'm joined by Lee Henderson. Welcome, Lee.
Nice to meet you again, Gio. It's been a while.
It has been a while. Now, for this technical corner, I want to discuss your cutting tool portfolio, and you have a very large one. I fully appreciate that.
Yeah.
Can you firstly just give us a general overview of what you offer?
Yeah, well, if anyone knows the Hoffmann company, we've got these bright orange catalogues. We have 4 of them in total. Catalogue 1 is the one that I work with, which is all the cutting tools, all the tool holding, all the work holding, and that type of thing. So the actual cutting tool range is very, very broad. We still got a broad range of high-speed steel and performance high-speed steel. So for people who in aerospace maybe need that little bit of forgiveness, we do some higher performance high-speed steel, with modern geometries and coatings, rather than as well as just the normal jobber drills. But we go right through solid carbide. We do drills, end mills, reamers. We do step drills. We do broaching tools, which we're going to come on to. We've got a full indexable range, and with most of our tools, we have 2 brands. So we're Garant and Holex. So Garant is our premium performance range, and Holex is our secondary brand, which is still a high performance brand, but it's at a slightly lower cost.
And they're manufactured from the Hoffmann.
These are Hoffmann products, yes. So
now, it's safe to say then, from what you've just said, that you've got a cutting tool for most applications.
I'd like to think we've got most things, but there's always going to be customers who, I know something you haven't got.
Is it safe to say that you're very well renowned for having a quality of tool that really gives you that longevity?
Yes, our solid carbide end mill range is well sort of respected in the industry. It's good cutting data, very high cutting data, long tool lives. It does have a good reputation in the market, and we're broadening out into some really sort of more specialised areas.
And that really brings us on to this technical corner, really, Lee. This technical corner, we're focusing on broaching tools from Hoffmann. This is relatively new to your portfolio. Why have you introduced this, and what solutions do your broaching tools offer?
Well, we've always done standard pull broaches, and we still have them there in the catalogue as well for actual broaching machines. But what we're looking at now is we're looking at doing broaching operations but on a standard lathe or machining centre. So you don't have to send the parts out for secondary operations or have another setup. So if you're doing any kind of fastener, predominantly these are, and you need to put a hex or a Torx or a square drive in it, then you can actually do it on a standard, either a CNC or even a manual lathe and a machining centre. So we've got two basic systems in this category. We've got some for keyway slotting, and we can slot plain slots. We've got inserts which chamfer the slot as well, and then we've got square profiles which we can use to generate squares. So you do each corner, so you would slot each corner out.
And we may see some of the geometry appear on screen shortly. Yes. on that particular geometry. Yes. Now, if you were doing a keyway on a CNC machine now, you're saving an operation.
Yeah.
But what makes your broaching tools unique? What sets yours apart? What's the USP?
Okay, so we've got 3 different lengths of the shank, but also the inserts. Most people in these style of tools, the few companies that do have similar sort of tools, they will have solid carbide. Ours are actually regrindable because they're a coated, specialised high-speed steel. So if they're a really keen edge, it's lower cutting forces. It gives you a nice sharp edge to your slot, so you're not having to deburr. And they still go at a high feed rate. So we're talking about the feed rates on this is sort of, depending on the material, 5,000 to 8,000 millimetres a minute. So it's pretty quick.
So you don't need to necessarily have a specialist machine to be able to use these broaching tools?
If you want to get the best accuracy, a Y-axis is going to help, or we do an eccentric bush, so you can dial it in, and we do, it fits in the end of the tool holder. We do a little setting device so you can clock it. So for a manual machine, you can just clock it in. So yeah, it works in pretty much any machine.
And do you see many applications out there for these new tools?
Yeah, lots of jobbing shops which do 10 parts will have a drive keyway in, is the most common one. So there's lots of places to do that, and typically they would have sent it out, but the number of companies which specialise in slotting and have specialised slotting machines is going down all the time. So more and more people are looking to do it in-house so they can turn it around that bit quicker.
So you really are, you're saving a complete operation.
Yes.
And and potentially, you know, retiming that job, potential scrap savings as well.
Yeah, so you've got all the setting time
Better
on the secondary
quality.
operation. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to lengths, you mentioned that they come in different lengths. What is the longest broaching tool that you offer?
Well, it depends on the shank size. So we've got a number of shanks. We go, you know, from 16 right through to 32 shank. So it's in proportion, so it's multiples of the, you know, diameter to length ratios. But we do a very stubby, we do a standard length, and then we do a long length.
And lead times for these broaching
These
tools?
are on the shelf.
Oh, brilliant. So if people were to wanted to get in touch and they had requirements for these broaching tools and potentially they'd been using the specialised broaching machines to produce these keyways, how should they get in touch?
The easiest way is to have a look on our website, which is www.hoffmann-group.com. All our contact details are there. They can have a look at the products, or, you know, our telephone number. They can give us a call and we can arrange a visit and bring all the information into them.
Lee, sorry.
I was going to say there's also some videos on the site if they want to see it in action before they give us a call.
No,
so everything's there.
Thank you very much for the intensive review on especially the broaching tools, but all of your portfolio. Thank you very much. So if you have any requirements for any cutting tools, make sure to contact the Hoffmann Group UK.